this episode, we leave the stunning Lake Argyle, head north to Wyndham before starting the old Kurunjie stock road down to the famous Pentecost crossing. Well, g'day travellers and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see behind me, we've got a Boab tree and over here we got some red rock, and that means we are in the Kimberley. So we are just near Muchalabra Dam. Don't crucify me if I got that wrong. I think it's Muchalabra Dam. And we've just had a look at some really cool rock art. We're going to show you that in a minute. Now, this episode marks the start of our adventure across the famous Gibb River Road. Now, there's two ways that you can get into the Gibb. One is the way that everyone with a caravan takes, and that's to turn off from the Great National Highway onto the Gibb River Road. For us, a little bit more adventurous souls, we've decided to go in via Wyndham through Diggers Rest Station on the famous Kurunjie stock route. Just on the King River Road, we haven't actually started the Kurunjie Track yet, and a couple of k's down the road is another famous landmark which I'm going to pull up and show you, which is the Prison Boab tree. And you can tell I'm in the Kimberley, there's flies in my eyeballs.
And echoes.
And it echoes. So we'll stop, we'll show you the Prison Boab tree. We'll drop our tyres down there because already we're probably about 18 k's along this road and the corrugations have been atrocious. So we'll drop the tyres down because it's only going to get rougher from here on in. So let the Gibb River Road begin. Let's go, guys. Well, how good is it when you can be in a spot like this and gazing at a couple of 1,000-year-old Indigenous artwork? It's pretty special. Now, I don't know how old the rock art is here, and there's no signs or anything, so we'll have to do we'll let you know. We'll do a bit of research and we'll let you know in the video. But it's pretty cool. It's fairly worn and faded, so I would dare say it's pretty old. And it's an easy run. We're on the King River Road, so we're moving in from I think it's the Great National Highway, so from Wyndham anyway, in towards Diggers Rest. So we're on our way now to the Prison Boab tree, which we'll show you in a minute. But yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to get it out into these places. And there are some weird insects on the rocks along here, to be able to get out into these places and have the privilege of checking this stuff out. Now, when you do get out to places like this and you find the rock art, have a look, take a couple of pickies, as long as there's nothing there to tell you not to take photos. Just you know, be respectful, but don't touch it. Don't touch it, because it just destroys it. So come out, enjoy. It's pretty cool. Anyway, we need to make tracks because there is a Pentecost Barra with my name on it somewhere at the other end of the Kurunjie Track. Size of wee. Don't know if this big fella bites, but he is large. I gather he's on the hunt for some spiders. And what I'm trying to show you, hello, I'm not a spider. What I'm trying to show you is this big snake skin hanging off the roof of the cage there. So old mates use this as a change room, and yeah, look how big fella. I think we might leave old mate on his spider hunt and carry on. Oh, she's gone. She's left me. Well, folks, this is why you don't go for a swim up in these parts. So we're just on the King River Road heading into the Kurunjie Track, and got the King River beside us here. Been on the track, man, all of 15 minutes, I reckon. And I spied this big fella. I'm going to see if I can get him. He's on the other side of the river, thankfully, otherwise we wouldn't be standing here. But he is one big snapper dandbag. There he is, having a nice old sunbake on the bank, and from here I'd say he's well over, what do you reckon, 3 metres? He'd be well over 3 metres. But what they say about these big blokes is it ain't the ones you see that get you, it's the ones that you don't. So we might move on. Hey guys, we are at the famous Prison Boab tree, and I was just about to go in and show you around, but there was a feisty little snake asleep right at the entrance there who wasn't happy to see me, and he's just gone in a hole and inside the tree, so we might just show you from outside. So the Boab prison tree out here on the King River Road, which is, I don't know, we're probably, I'm going to guess and say 50 k's out of Wyndham. Now this was used as a lockup for Aboriginal prisoners back in the, hang on, I'm going to read the sign, from the 1980s to the 1920s. Now in the dry season, the coppers would set out on a 3-month patrol, picking up Indigenous prisoners to take them back to Wyndham in chains to await trial. Now, this was the last stop on the trip back, so their last night out on the track, the whole mob, oh hello, didn't know you were there, the whole mob would be whacked into that little hole that you see behind me, and that's where they spend the night. Now, considering old slippery mate that greeted us when we got here went straight inside the tree, don't know how good a night's sleep it would have been, and I would dare say they probably had quite a few prisoners, so probably pretty crowded in there as well. So yeah.
Just a correction on that, it's 1880s to the 1920s.
What did I say?
He said 1980s to the 1920s.
Oh yeah, whatever she said.
1890s
1890s to 1920s. There you go. We stand corrected. So yeah, so that's the Prison Boab. So apparently they used to bring them through this way, and then somebody noticed this big gnarly Boab. It had a couple of holes in the top, and decided to hack a hole through the front, and found she was hollow, and thought that'd be a good place to lock up the folk on the way to Wyndham. So pretty rough and tumble out here in those days. Pretty rough and tumble out here today, even though we're doing it in modern vehicles. I dare say it would have been a lot worse for the poor buggers with chains around their ankles, having to trudge it through the 45, 50 degree heat that they get in the dry season. Anyway, that's the Prison Boab tree. On to the Kurunjie. Here we go, folks. Look at that. The Kurunjie stock are out. Not a gazetted road, not maintained. Use at own risk. Means opening up the gate. Let the adventures begin. are doing it, the Kurunjie. Massive bucket list item for me. Been wanting to do this for ages, but what really cemented it is we watched an episode of Carsten and Maxine do it in the combi from the opposite way, and it just looked like a super cool track and a far more fun way to get yourself to El Cuestro. So look at that, bit of planning, bit of saving up your leave, and a bucket load of money. Dreams can come true. Oh, no, I think we better get used to that.
Yeah.
But we are on the Kurunjie Track. I am super pumped. So let's get on with it, eh? Track's looking super washed out, so might just stop over. Got a gallery of black cockatoos up there watching us. We might just check this out. Why you need to have some form of mapping, because the track goes that way, track goes that way. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. While the Kurunjie Track might only be a short one, I think it's only about 70k from end to end, we are averaging, right at the moment, about 9 kilometres an hour. So she is pretty rough, and there's some like big boulders along the track that you need to negotiate. So just in high range 4-wheel drive at the moment, and taking it nice and slow. The small issue, guys, losing my sunglasses wasn't one of them, but we are using my phone to run the Gaia navigational map, which is our map for the Kurunjie Track. Now, I've had it in the quad lock up on the windscreen, and we think the phone has got too hot. Now it won't charge up. So I've turned all the maps off, it still won't charge up. So currently, my iPhone is sitting in my ARB fridge on top of my beer. So we'll give it 10 minutes in the fridge, see if she cools down, see if it starts taking a charge, because once we hit the big mud flats, which I can already see, you can see them over there, you need some form of mapping to tell you which way to go, because it is just a big expanse of nothingness. And hopefully, because they had that big rain event not long ago, it ain't soggy and we break through the top. So we've got a couple of gates. This could be where multiple choice starts already. So let's hope the phone cools down and we can get the Gaia app happening again. Wouldn't be an adventure if you didn't get lost once or twice though. Ready please, Mrs. Gate Bitch.
I'm the gate bitch.
I'm the gate bitch. I'm the driver. Chauffeur. Well, we've just come to a gate that says, please close the gate. Boundary between Diggers cattle and El Questro cattle. Now, from our understanding, on the El Questro side, we can camp anywhere we like. So I thought it was a lot further along. So pretty much we can, after this gate, camp where we like. Not yet though. Good job.
Thanks.
There are a lot of gates on this track, aren't they, dear?
Yes, there is.
So if you are doing it, it's great to have somebody who is a master of all things gates, but also leave them the way you found them. Most of them will say shut the gate, so obviously if it says shut the gate and you find it open, shut the gate. But other than that, leave them as you found them. So if they're shut, shut them. If they're open, leave them open unless it says shut the gate. And just over to my left there is the beautiful Cockburn Ranges, pronounced Cockburn, but where would be the maturity to pronounce it correctly? So the Cockburn Ranges, which everybody would have seen on the famous, you know, the most photographed river crossing I think in Australia or possibly even the world, is the Pentacost River with the beautiful Cockburn Ranges in the background, and we have them right in front of us. So it is certainly a pretty spectacular, well, it's not a backdrop, it's a front drop. Okay? It's a front drop. You'll love it when you drop your front. Anyway, pretty specky to look at. Well, good news, the phone is charging up again, so it just goes to show you that when something is going wrong, spending a little bit of time with a cold beer is the answer. It even works for an iPhone. So this is the first real off-road test for the Austrack, isn't it?
Sure is.
And so far, she seems to be
Following?
Well, she's following. That's always a good thing. She seems to be tracking along pretty good.
Let's wait and see when we undo her.
As long as she doesn't undo herself. But you might hear a little bit of clanging every now and again. And if you watched our last episode, that is the left-hand airbag, which has a gaping hole in it because it was rubbing on the brake line bracket, and so she's gone. So the airbags are of no use, so we've dropped the other side down obviously to about 5 psi, just a little bit of pressure in there so she's not clanging about. But that one there is kaput, so she's making a bit of noise, but it's nothing that we need to really worry about. We really are racing daylight at the moment. We need to get to the Pentacost River to set up camp, and the sun is setting quite quickly. What time is it now? About 4.
Yeah, 4:08.
4:08, and the sun goes down, what, about 5:30. So we've got about an hour worth of daylight left before we need to be setting up camp, so we're not setting up camp in the dark. My hopes of a fish this afternoon are out of the us quickly fading with the sun setting, so it might be a fish in the morning, because I am not going anywhere near that water after dark, I can tell you that. There's some moo cows on the road up in front, and these big mudflats are never ending, aren't they? But it is pretty specky with the Cockburn Ranges just over there. Oh, she's a bit boggy through here, folks. Oh, look at those depths of those ruts. Oh. I think that might have been the end of it, just a grand finale big bog hole. Hey, I think that was the only intrepidation. That's a big word, isn't it? Intrepidation. I don't even know if that means what I think it means. But the only worry I had about doing this track was those mud flats and getting stuck on them after the rain. And I think we've come out the other side, Dull.
Awesome.
I think rocky tracks I can handle.
Yeah.
Getting stuck in the middle of a treeless plain, not so much. So I don't think we've got, judging by the map, I don't think we've got too far to go, so I think we're going to be alright getting to camp before the sun goes down.
Good, we can scout for crocs in there.
And then we'll get all set up. We've chopped some firewood back where we stopped for lunch. Oh, which way do we go? I'm going to go left. I always go left. Tell me if I got it right. Looking okay on the map?
Looking okay.
Alright. So go left, folks, works every time. But you really do need, on this track, you really do need to have some form of electronic mapping, don't you, to find your way across, because there were tracks going everywhere across those mud flats.
Yep.
And God knows where you could have ended up. Water up there. So we're taking a wrong turn and we're in a stockyard. There was a few tracks going around, and I remember, I think Carston and Maxine got mixed up at some of these gates, didn't they?
Yep.
Showered, huh? Alright, where we going? I've just looked in the rear vision mirror and it looks like some of the latches on the track have already started setting up camp. So how's that? Automatic camper. Knows when we're getting to camp, but I better get out and check it. Well, look at that. One of the boat rack ones has come off. Oh, that's loosened itself right off. Struth. Just take a walk around and oh, this side looks alright. Well, there's a trap for new players. Keep an eye on your latches. The firewood's still there. Gas bottle's turned itself on, my goodness. There you go. 3 latches undone, including one on the boat rack. Well, that is not what I expected to see in my rear vision mirror. A whole big set of big horns running right up the side of the bloody car. So we've just we've come across a little billabong. This looks like it might hold a couple of snapping handbags. But that's not what we want. We're not after the billabong, we're after the Pentacost River. And with those blokes with the big horns that were right on my my backside just then, I don't think I want to camp here.
Nope.
My God. Oh, hang on, we've got 2 tracks. Okay. Multiple choice again. Okay, we're moving away from the water now.
Yeah, it goes around and then it comes back. Have a look at the map.
So we need to find a spot because it's going to be dark in about 20 minutes. Well, the sun has set and it's so overgrown, like the grass is, look at that. It is up higher than the windows of the car. And get some beautiful pinstriping here. We're actually just about to start moving away, I think, from the river again. But we can't really camp anywhere because all the grass is too long and there's no way in the world we can light a fire. Around here we'd set the whole joint ablaze, so I guess we'll just have to keep moseying on, and very shortly it'll be moseying on in the dark until we find somewhere we can pull up. Well, that hill looks interesting. Alright, I think this might be us. Just over this way a bit so we can have the door opening out to our crocodile view. I mean, river view. What do you think? Well, folks, it is golden hour here on the Pentacost, and we have found a primo. Look at that! Riverfront camp. I don't think it could get much better. Digs for tonight? Look at that beautiful crocodile, barramundi infused waterway. Well, I reckon we get whatever is left done up on the track undone. Look at that big pile of firewood. Get the fire going down here. sit back and watch the sun set over the Pentecost. I'm in heaven. Look at that. You know, folks, there are times when you absolutely want to pinch yourself, and this is one of them. Here I am, cracking a beer by a fire by the Pentacost River. It's something that I've dreamt about doing for so long, and it's one of those things you think, am I ever really going to get to do it? And man, like I said, I need to pinch myself, because here I am, doing it, and I couldn't be bloody happier. What gastronomical delights we got happening tonight, darling?
It certainly said gastronomical.
I did say gastronomical.
Oh, that's a curry.
Not gastro-inducing, but gastronomical delight. What do we got?
I'm doing a savoury curry.
Savoury curry.
Yeah.
Cool. Hearty meal.
Yeah, lots of veggies.
Good stuff. And what do you think of the Kurunjie Track?
Yeah, it was good.
Have a lot of fun?
Yeah, I was worried because, like, you know, old mate said that, you know, you shouldn't really tow anything through there, but we did it okay.
Yeah, and I didn't find it all that hard, to be honest.
Yeah, hopefully the rest, it shouldn't be too much of a...
No, I think we've done the hard part. So cool. So tomorrow morning,
Locations?
Barra Monday.
Yeah, after Barra.
Fishing in the morning. We don't have to make a super early start, so it's not that far to get through to El Cuestro.
Awesome.
And what'll be awesome is when I get some of this in me guts. Been a big day. Been a good day.
It's been a long day.
Been an awesome day. Well, folks, we're going to call it a night there. We're going to sit by, finish our dinner. Maybe a can or two before bed. And we'll catch you in the morning when hopefully the water's a little bit higher and we get to flick some lures across. Then he cooks up another gastronomical wonder for breakfast. What are we having?
Don't know yet, but it'll be good.
It'll be good. There you go. So we'll catch you guys in the morning.
And never smart the crocodile.
It's good.
It really is.
no dream Barra in the Pentacost River, but I tell you what, it is an absolute bloody dream just to be here casting a rod on this beautiful river. And seeing a little croc cruise up and down. Sun's just come up. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Well, unfortunately, guys, I just tried to put my drone up and it's got an issue with the gimbal and it's wigging out because I really wanted to take it across to the other side of the river where there's a salty over there. I'll try and get it on the camera, see if I can enlarge it enough. But just up and sunbaking on the mud bank. Pretty hard to pick up in the camera, but I think you can just see him up there on the mud. And when I was chucking a few lures around this morning, there's one cruising up and down. Got old mate there, might actually be him. A bad way for a coffee. What do you reckon, bub? You survived the night on the Pentecost. Nothing ate you? No, nothing ate you. Not that scary, really, is it?
Daylight better.
It's absolutely beautiful. Pretty good view from your kitchen there. So what's happening in Nini's kitchen with the view this morning? Chopping shit up? We're chopping shit up. We're having chopped shit for breakfast. Love it. Couldn't think of a better place to have chopped shit, could you? It's fantastic. Look at chopped shit right there. Sometimes you just know that you're in a moment that is going to be etched in your memory forever. And this, without a doubt, is one of them. Sitting here, having a coffee, overlooking the Pentacost River and the Cockburn Ranges in the beautiful Kimberley winter sun. And I'm having trouble believing I am actually here because this has been a dream of mine to be doing exactly this on the Pentacost River, that iconic Cockburn Range in the background, just sitting back, soaking it in, having a coffee. It really doesn't get much better. And you know what? You've just got to get out there and do it. You've got to experience this stuff because, you know, I've played this over in my mind so many times, and I got to say, it is so much bloody better now that I'm here. It is amazing. But you've just got to make adventure a priority if you want to experience these things. And, you know, people that hang around, sorry for this, you're one of them, that are waiting for their retirement to do this, you're bloody bonkers. You got to get out and do it now while you're still fit and able, while you're still breathing, because we don't all make it, unfortunately, to retirement. So I think you just got to take life by the balls, give them a big squeeze, and get everything out of them that you can. But somewhere this morning, I've got to pull myself away from this beautiful spot. We've got to pack up because we are headed to El Cuestro, and I'm a little bit excited to do El Cuestro Gorge tomorrow morning, so that's the plan for tomorrow. But first, we need to pack up, we need to finish the Kurunjie Track. So I'm going to finish these coffees and make a move on. But we're going to take just a few more minutes to soak in and crystallise this memory that I'm going to go to every time that alarm clock goes off to go to work. Got to be a reason, did you? You get up and go to work, and it's to pay for moments like these. We did it, folks. The Kurunjie Track done and dusted. What an epic adventure. This one had absolutely everything. It had snakes, it had crocodiles, it had raging mobs of cattle, it had panoramic views, and bloody good company. For me so far, this has been the highlight of our Gibb River Road adventures. But it's super early days. We've got a heap of stuff ahead of us. So what's next? I don't know, but the only way you're going to know is to tune in and watch our next episode. So why not hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment in the comment box, and let us know what you think. Now, we're heading off to El Questro for a much needed shower and some more adventures. So until then, we'll catch you on the next episode of We Went That Away Adventures. Cheers, guys.